you increase or you decrease the decimal places. You see it? Right here, this button right here. Increase or decrease. Alright? Now, if you have a computer, you know, this is just to show you, and then you go home, you try, you have a laptop, bring it to the lab, I'll show it to you guys, okay? Or I can show you on the computer in the lab if you really need help, okay? But you got to try. It's really cool. So you got that. See, look, column B, I didn't do that, okay? Column B, Excel did that for me. Now, I skipped column B, because column B is 1 over P, okay? We don't have that. So we got the volume, but we don't have 1 over P. We only have pressure. We're given the pressure. So I skip one column. I save this one for 1 over P. So yeah, I type in pressure. You guys see I type exactly what's given on the handout. Right? Okay. So I label pressure at the bottom. That way I know what it is. And then the next one, we got to figure that out. If you have to sit there and do the calculations, I guarantee you, it's going to take you 5 minutes. You got to do 1 over P for each of them, right? 1 over 1.57, you put in the number. 1 over 1.69, you put in the number, right? You got to do that for each of them. Watch. The first number, let's say, gone. Okay? Gone. The first number, you hit equal. 1 slash, mean 1 over, right? And you click which one you want. I want you to do this one, Excel. 1 over C1. You can even type in C1. C1. You guys see it? C, column C, row number 1. Or you click on it, Excel will type in E1 automatically, C1 automatically for you. You hit, what do you think the next one we should hit? Enter. You see it? It did that for us. Now you don't have to type it again. You just have to highlight it and look at the cross. You see the cursor change to the cross. You hold on the left key and you drag it all the way down. See? Excel does that for you. It's all the calculation. Excel took this one, divided by 1 over this one, put it here, 1 over this one, you put it here. Okay, so it does that for each cell. Okay, each row. Pretty smart. Okay, software does that. So now we got 1 over P versus X versus Y, or volume versus 1 over P. Now, you want a graph, you highlight it, not the label, not the name, okay, only the numbers. And then you go insert, you guys see a little graph right there? Line, pi, okay, we don't want pi, we don't want line, we want this, all the scatter. You hit on that, it gives you choices. You want this one, show us all the dots. You see? Done. You got a graph. But not quite. I mean, you got to connect all the dots, right? Okay. It looks like it's going to be a straight line. And it goes straight to the 0, which is right. If you do it by hand, it's going to be biased somewhere. Okay? Because you got to look at the scale. That would take forever. Okay? So you get tired, you make up all this scale, and then it's all screwed up. Now, you want to draw a straight line, the computer will draw it for you. Click on it, I'll show you. Right click, and it say add trend line. Trend line is the approximate line. Okay? It'll draw a line for you. It'll draw a perfect line for you. It's approximate the line and draw for you. Now, if you want displays R square, displays equation. That's a nice feature right there. You click on them. I'll show you what the equation looks like. You see, you got an equation, and the R square. Anyone know what R square means?
The radius.
R square means it tell you what we said.
You just said, is it radius?
The what?
Oh, never mind. I thought it was a radius, but
Ready?
Radius.
Radius? No, it's not. R square actually a very simple number. R square is the percentage
Oh, okay.
of how perfect the line is. R square equal to 1, that's 100%. If R square equal to 0.9, that's 90%. 90% of what? Straight, the line, how straight the line, how perfect the line is. Now, this line is perfect because it went through all the points. Okay, well, your point could be scattered, you know. Sometimes you got a point that's really out of a straight line. And the line, if you got a line like this, it's not going to be 100%. You got a line, every single point is on the line. That's 100%. But what if you got a data point that's off the line? Okay? So if you get off the line, the computer got to go back and estimate the line like that.
Okay.
So that's not perfect. That's more like a 0.95, and this is 1.0 if you don't have that point. Okay? It's really nice when you do data analysis. It tells you how good your data are. And it tells you which data point you should eliminate. For example, we have a class. Someone in this class, so genius, got 105%. Okay? Now, how do I know? The rest of you, 80%, 85%, plus, so how do I know that person's really stand out? Okay? And you should not include that person in the curve. How would I know that? I have to put on Excel. And Excel will tell me that 105% is an outlier. That person's out of range. You should not include that in your curve, okay? Or there's someone's 5%. Someone didn't care 5%, okay, in the class average. So you should not include that. Excel will tell you, okay, the standard deviation, you know, all this stuff you guys can do in calculations, okay? Excel can do that in 2 seconds. The standard deviation, okay, the average, all that, all right? So another nice thing is this. You go back, now you got the equation, okay? You got the equation, it's really nice. You see, this is almost 0, 0.0002, that's the y-intercept. Now, watch guys. You go back, okay? You eliminate one data point. Say, you want to delete this one? Delete. Watch. You see on the graph?
Yep.
It took it away, right? What? 5.0. And so you hit enter. Look over here. It show up here. So when you delete over here on the data table, it's real time. It show up or it delete on the graph also. So if there's something really weird, like 14 is really weird, you want to delete, or 10 you want to delete, it will delete the point as well. Okay? Sounds good? So if you make a mistake, say that's a 10, I make a mistake, I put a 12. Watch. Look at that. That's wicked. That's out of range, right? That's something wrong. So you look at this and you say, oh, I better fix that because I make some mistake here. Okay, that's not a 12. I got a 12 ready. That should be a 10. Enter, it fix it. You guys see it? So that's really nice. You know, you don't have to go back and erase everything and fix everything. So the Excel will do that, and then when you're done, you just print it out. Okay? And there's a way to label the axis, all this, and then I forgot how to label them, but I play around and we can label all this stuff. We can label the graph. You know, this is just the legends. So yeah, I want to show you. So that's what I want to show you. Try to use it. Okay, try to use it tonight. Okay, at least get the graph, and also the R square, which is very useful. Now watch. You want to do average. Okay. Say equal average. Average. You actually get that for you there. See? GE. Okay. Now from where to where? Square parentheses. I want you to do the average from here to here for me. And then parentheses. Hit enter. Average is 9.5. You want to do the average for all of this? 9.5. You don't have to add them all up and divide it by 10. The Excel does that for you. You want to do the average of all this? You can do that here. So now watch. You don't have to even to type average again, because this is the average. So you just have to drag it over, and it does that. It does the average not from here, from this column. And you want to drag it over, it does the average, the pressure for you as well. You guys see it? So these are the averages, right? You want to do standard deviation? Equal, what do you think it is? STD, right there. STD EV, right? EV, parentheses. You want to, the first one you always have to do, okay? And then close parentheses, hit equal. That's your standard deviation. 3.02. Okay, you want to do the standard deviation for all of them? There you go. Now, how do you know which one's which? You can always click on one of them, and they tell you the average. You guys see it? It say, tell you up on here?
Mm-hmm.
It tell you that's the, you're doing the average, right there, that's the average. This one, STD, EV, that's standard deviation. Now, you can do all this, you see? It only took like what, not even 10 seconds. Yes.
You didn't ask for these numbers, you're just asking for the graph.
Right. Yeah,
These
there's
are
more, right, these are extra stuff you can do, right. Eventually, when you move up to higher classes, it's extremely useful, save you a lot of time. Especially professional school, you don't have time to sit there and draw all this, okay? So the data's far more complicated, so you have to use Excel, okay? So I want you to play around with it, and maybe I can show you guys again tomorrow, okay? Sounds good?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll figure out how to label the axis. Maybe you can figure out tonight, okay? And how to label the graph. And then so tomorrow we'll take a few minutes and look at this again, okay? But you got to try this tonight, okay? So when you turn in, I want you to bring out two graphs. Just the graph. I don't care about R squared. I mean, it's good to have those, okay? Unless, the question asks you for the equations, it doesn't. It only asks you for the graph. It doesn't ask you for the equation. But it's good to have those. The R squared and the equations, those are the minimum stuff that you should have on a graph. Any graph. Sounds good? Okay, and try, like I said, try to label the axis. Like volume, 1 over pressure. Try to figure out how to label them. If you can't figure it out, I'll show you tomorrow. Okay?
You have to do another one for volume and temperature?
Yes. Yep. So that's